Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Animefied. Let's look at anime called My Monster Secret. Let's get started. Asahi, a high school boy who has trouble keeping a secret from anyone, has a crush on his cool and reserved classmate Yoko. While he worries about getting rejected, similar to his confession of love with class president Nagisa Aizawa, his classmates encourage him to try again. Upon reaching the classroom to confess to Yoko, he finds her unfurling a large pair of wings from her back. Yoko admits to Asahi that she is a vampire, but could only come to school if she hid her true identity from everyone. Asahi swears that he'll be her friend and keep her secret safe. Meanwhile, newspaper club head Akimi Mikan plans to see how Asahi's confession went, and Aizawa appears to be spying on Asahi from afar. Asahi tells his friends that he decided to be just friends with Yoko for now. Meanwhile, Aizawa reflects on how she brutally rejected Asahi the previous summer to prevent him from getting too close to her, but now acts jealous after seeing him with Yoko. Later, Yoko eats her lunch with Asahi in an otherwise empty classroom and finds some cream puffs that Aizawa left on his desk, but the puff is too spicy for her to eat. She inadvertently reveals her wings as Aizawa steps into the room, but Aizawa in turn accidentally reveals herself to be a tiny alien, stepping out of her human-sized external unit while holding a tiny ray gun at Yoko. While worrying about her own secret getting out, Aizawa chases after Asahi with a sledgehammer she refers to as a memory erasure apparatus, but Yoko saves Asahi from getting hit by it. In the end, the three decide to keep each other's secrets safe, while Mikan is shown digging a listening device out of an uneaten cream puff. Mikan tortures Asahi and his friends for more information about Asahi's meeting in the classroom with Yoko, but he refuses to tell her anything, fearing that she would spread the information around school as she did in the past. Later, Asahi's teacher asks him to deliver homework to Yoko, as she is sick and can't come to school. Mikan decides to follow him, but Aizawa appears to help him off her trail. Asahi decides to stop for a brief visit at Yoko's student apartment, but gets a call from Aizawa that Mikan managed to get past her and run to Yoko's house. Mikan is accidentally knocked unconscious after being buried under a pile of Yoko's junk from the closet, but decides to Photoshop a romantic encounter between Asahi and Yoko and threatens to display it throughout the school. Asahi confronts Mikan on the rooftop and begs her not to do it, but the pleading only makes her stronger, so Asahi takes the opposite route and decides to let her put up the pictures, draining her resolve as she didn't want him to feel happy. After school, a spirit residing in Mikan's glasses assumes that she secretly has feelings for Asahi, but Mikan angrily denies this as she twists her own glasses around. Aizawa begs Asahi for help as her external unit ran out of battery power before it could recharge, and she was forced to come to him in her Lilliputian form. Asahi sneaks into the girls' bathroom and carries Aizawa's body down to the nurse's office with Yoko's help. However, on their way out, Mikan stumbles upon the tiny form of the real Aizawa, so Asahi tries to play her off as a lifelike figurine. Unfortunately, this only excites Mikan and Shimada, while Aizawa has trouble maintaining a doll-like composure, forcing Asahi to snatch Aizawa back and hide from his friends. After taking shelter in a gym storage shed, Aizawa mysteriously grows to human size and is embarrassed about revealing her antenna to Asahi, while Mikan, Shimada, and Yoko all hunt them down. Asahi decides to have the human-sized Aizawa punch him out of the shed and escape, pretending to be angry. A mysterious horned lady magically returns Aizawa to her normal size, while Asahi and Yoko clear up their misunderstanding after school. After discovering that UV rays from sunlight cause Yoko's skin to instantly tan, Aizawa decides to train her into dodging sunlight on her route to and from school. Asahi studies vampire weaknesses while Aizawa encourages Yoko to do a field test with her new training. On the way, they walk through a shopping arcade, where Asahi tries to protect Yoko from salesmen offering garlic and crosses. However, like sunlight, their effects on Yoko are much less harmful than their depictions in popular fiction. Crosses simply make her annoyed and garlic makes her eyes water. After coming across an uncovered bridge, Yoko is about to give up her new daytime route when Asahi asks if she's tried using sunscreen. Yoko ends up using it for the first time the next day at school. The following weekend, Asahi and Yoko go to an amusement park together. Yoko saw it as a chance to get him closer to Aizawa, but Aizawa declined, seeing it as an opportunity to have Yoko go on a date with Asahi. The two of them go through the attractions, including a haunted house where Yoko is scared at first but becomes upset at the actor portraying a blood-sucking vampire. Later that evening, Yoko notes that their outing was similar to the relationship that her own parents had with each other, to the point where they even attended her current school together. Meanwhile, Yoko's father is suspicious of Yoko's new boyfriend, and tasks the werewolf Shiro Shishido with bringing her back home if her secret has been revealed. While returning home from the amusement park, Asahi and Yoko encounter a scary wolfman with fangs. Yoko recognizes him as her childhood friend Shiro, but he threatens Asahi anyway. When Shiro sees the moon in the evening sky, he ends up transforming into a sexy lady named Shiho. The three then go to Yoko's home where Shiho explains that she is the dominant personality in the body she shares with Shiro. Shiho then starts teasing Asahi, making Yoko jealous as she reveals that the Wolfman can change at any depiction of the moon, including a picture she shows to Shiho. Meanwhile, Aizawa heads to Yoko's home to make a peace offering with her homemade cake, but upon arriving finds Shiho pinning down Asahi and leaves. When she returns a moment later, she sees Shiro in the same position and flees at the sight. Eventually, the girls clear up the misunderstanding, while Shiho tells Yoko in a private moment that she should be more honest about her relationship with Aizawa. The next day, Shiho appears in Aizawa's class as a transfer student, introducing herself as a pervert. After being relentlessly teased by Shiho's body in school, Asahi begins to projectile nosebleed while Aizawa starts to get jealous. Asahi runs away to meet with Yoko when the two see a tiny girl with horns walking by them. Soon, Yoko decides to speak directly with the girl who tells Yoko that she is Akane Komodo, related to their homeroom teacher, Akari Komodo. Akari then shows up to wrangle Akane back to her office, where Asahi and Yoko learn that Akane is actually a 1,000-year-old devil with real horns, and Akari's great-great-grandmother. Akane also claims that it was thanks to her that the various supernatural characters were allowed to transfer into the same class. Despite Akane's attempts to portray herself as an adult, Yoko keeps baiting her into childish reactions with snacks and claims to be the more mature girl. The two girls then decide to have a sexy contest in the empty school gym with Shiho acting as the host, while Asahi is forced to be the judge through his nosebleed reactions. Meanwhile, Aizawa starts tracking mysterious demonic energy from her cat-like spacecraft elsewhere in the city. In multiple contests, Yoko and Akane try to one-up each other to prove their sexiness, except Asahi keeps getting the strongest reaction from Shiho's actions. Events included a sexy pose contest, swimsuit contest, dance contest, and cosplay contest. Finally, Yoko challenges Akane to survive eating awful cream puffs that Mikan made earlier. The contest ends with Yoko and Akane blowing up the gym in a large explosion and sending Aizawa's spacecraft flying from the shockwave. Asahi finds out he has to retake a cooking class, having missed the previous one. He is delighted to find out that Yoko, Aizawa, and Shiho are joining him in making curry, but soon finds out that all three girls have trouble making it. Aizawa's directions lead her to make a chocolate cake, which is accidentally tossed out a nearby window where Akane catches it with her horn. After taking a bite, she falls in love with it. Mikan decides to buy snacks for Akane in hopes of getting an interview with her, but Akane slips away until Akari appears to wrangle her back to the home economics room. However, both women are sickened to find that Yoko and Aizawa got too enthusiastic and added something to the curry that causes it to spew poison gas. Later that night, Akane breaks down the wall of Akari's apartment and demands that she get Aizawa to make more chocolate for her. When Akari refuses, Akane responds by magically steering an asteroid toward Earth, threatening to destroy the planet. Yoko, Aizawa, and Shiho reunite to make chocolate in the same room, but Akari discovers that the asteroid veers off course when Akane loses concentration, so she ties her down to a chair and force feeds her chocolates made by everyone except Aizawa. Even as Akane tries copying herself to reach Aizawa's chocolate, the other girls manage to fight Akane's clones off until she loses enough focus that Aizawa's comrades in outer space force the asteroid to make a U-turn, saving Earth from destruction. Now that it's summer, Asahi gets up the nerve to invite Yoko to the pool. The problem is, Yoko doesn't know how to swim and thinks that Asahi is asking her so they both could practice. To Asahi's consternation, Yoko invites both Aizawa and Shiho to join them, and Asahi's three friends wind up going too. Shiho leads the swimming lesson, with Aizawa as her assistant, but her perverted instructions get Shimada into big trouble. Her next set of instructions causes Aizawa to knock her out and take her place as an instructor naturally in a militaristic manner, but her teaching style nearly drowns both Yoko and Asahi. Mikan then shows up with her two little brothers and without her camera for once, and for the first time shows a softer side when talking about Asahi. After the pool closes and everyone is on their way home, Asahi and Yoko both make excuses and ditch the gang. Meeting at the school that evening, it turns out that Yoko wants to continue her swimming lessons at the school pool. After some more practice, Yoko tells Asahi about how her parents learned to swim and how her life has changed for the better since she and Asahi met. But things take an embarrassing turn when they begin to address each other by their first names for the very first time. And we see here that they were secretly been watched by Akane. Okada, Sakurada, and Shimada invite Asahi and Yoko to join them at a buffet restaurant, but Yoko is reluctant for fear of revealing her secret. However, Asahi convinces her, and although there is constant danger of Yoko's being exposed, things seem to be going well, until Mikan, who is working at the restaurant as a waitress, appears with her latest batch of Russian cream puffs for Yoko to try. To protect Yoko, Asahi, joined by Shimada, who doesn't know the lethal effects of Mikan's pastry, eats them all, with the expected result. The next day at school, Mikan is distraught, having lost her Heathen Queen glasses. Asahi, Yoko, and Aizawa join her in searching for them. It turns out that Akane stole them, and a major chase through the school begins with Akane using her magic tricks, culminating in her creating clones wearing identical glasses. But Akari breaks up the chase, returns the glasses, and drags Akane off for punishment. Later, by the riverside, Aizawa learns the truth about the glasses, that they are inhabited by a Fukuno Kami, a god of good fortune, and that this Fukuno Kami inhabited the glasses because they were filled with the good memories about Mikan's childhood and her true feelings for Asahi. Rather than admit to her true feelings, Mikan repeatedly tries to throw the glasses away but is stopped by Aizawa, who challenges her to face Asahi without them. The glasses tell Mikan that if she won't admit her feelings to Asahi, it will just as Asahi and Yoko join them. In a panic, Mikan tries to put the glasses on again, and in the ensuing confusion, Aizawa winds up wearing the glasses just as the Fukunakami blurts out, "Asahi-kun, the truth is I am in love with you," making it sound that Aizawa had spoken. Asahi and Aizawa were invited by Yoko, Shimada, Oka, and Sakura to the summer festival. However, Yoko tricked them into spending an exciting alone time together. Yoko and Shiho follow Asahi and Aizawa around to watch what they do together. Asahi, trying to make the atmosphere less awkward, invites Aizawa to play at the shooting gallery. Yoko becomes flustered while watching the two of them play, and loses track of where they went. Soon after, Mikan shows up with her two little brothers and helps the two of them look for Asahi and Aizawa. Soon after they find the two of them, Aizawa trips and falls onto Asahi, then realizes her love for him. After the incident at the summer festival, Yoko has been avoiding Asahi, unaware of how she really felt about the incident. Asahi continually try to do things together with Yoko, but she runs away before they could. Shiho talks with Yoko about being more honest about her own feelings. Meanwhile, Asahi asks Sakura, Shimada, and Oka for advice on approaching Yoko again. Aizawa reevaluates her own feelings in the hallway and concludes that she needs to apologize to them in person. Akane comes up the stairway and says that she has heard Aizawa's inner voice, and she would rather have Yoko out of the picture so that she could be with Asahi instead. Aizawa denies the claim, but Akane persists until Akari comes and drags her back to the principal's office again. Upon leaving, Akane dropped a photo taken at the summer festival. Aizawa looks at the photo on the staircase, concluding that she would keep the photo for personal use only. A few moments later, Asahi and his friends come down the staircase and notice her, in which she tries to hide the photo from them. Mikan also arrives, coming up the stairs and wondering what the commotion was about. Mikan becomes suspicious after seeing Aizawa back up, so she tries to take the picture that the other is hiding. Pushing the two of them into the wall, Aizawa accidentally lets go of the photo, which coincidentally lands in Asahi's hands. Aizawa, in a fret, shoves ice cream into Asahi's eyes and takes the photo back. Everyone watched as Aizawa got rid of the evidence by eating the photo before their eyes. Asahi, who can't see, put his arms against the wall blocking Aizawa in. Yoko, who passes by and sees this, runs away. At her house in the bathtub, she begins to think about everything that happened over the past few days, including what Shiho said. At Asahi's house, Asahi has a nightmare that Yoko and he couldn't be friends anymore. The next morning, Asahi finds Yoko, who says to meet her on the rooftop in the evening. Asahi decides that he was going to confess to her on the rooftop. Aizawa overheard his conversation, and she wonders what she was going to have to do. Mikan, who was also revealed to have been watching, explains about all of Asahi's old love confessions, and how Yoko was the only serious love he has ever had. Aizawa understood what she had to do, and while Asahi was making his way toward the rooftop, stopped him. Persistently being chased, Asahi ran for his life as Aizawa tried to knock him out with a sleep-inducing device. Asahi decided he had enough and climbed up a stack of desks and chairs to make his way to the rooftop. When he got there, he saw Yoko being taken away by a mysterious bat revealed to be her father. Asahi, Akari, Aizawa, Shiho, and Akane pursue Yoko, but are hampered by Akari's refusal to exceed the speed limit and risk damaging her new car. Akane knocks out Akari and uses her powers to take control of the car, but ends up destroying it in the process. Asahi, Aizawa, and Shiho break into the mansion and are confronted by Yoko's father Genjiro. Asahi asks him to return Yoko but is questioned about his relationship with Yoko. Yoko arrives, and the trio tries to help her escape, only to learn that her father was bringing her home because her mother is sick. She had wanted Asahi to come to the rooftop so that she could tell him that she was going home for a bit. Genjiro learns that Asahi knows Yoko's secret and chases after them, but Asahi is able to get him to slip on a banana peel. While hiding in her room, Yoko and Asahi talk about what happened at the school festival. Genjiro tries to force Asahi out of Yoko's room, but Yoko's mother Toko arrives and frightens him into running off. Yoko and Asahi go to talk to Genjiro, and Aizawa exposes herself as an alien to him. Asahi offers to have his memories of Yoko's secret erased if Genjiro promises to allow Yoko to continue with school. Genjiro agrees, but only if Asahi erases all of his memories of Yoko. Aizawa is unable to go through with the act, however, and Yoko tackles Asahi before he can do so himself. Just as she is about to confess her feelings for him, Genjiro collapses, and Aizawa realizes that the hammer must have hit Genjiro when Yoko tackled Asahi. While eating onigiri, Aizawa and Yoko talk about how much they like being with the other students. The next morning, Akari and Akane pick up the students. Genjiro pretends that he doesn't care that Yoko is leaving, but runs after the car waving goodbye. So, that's it for this video. Be sure to share it with your friends. See you in the next video. Peace.